Roger, thanks very much for joining us to discuss, all things Birmingham City. I'm going to take you back to 10 years ago in 2011 when you famously lifted the League Cup. Can you believe it's been 10 years already since that famous day?
It's unbelievable. I can't believe it. It goes so quick. When I was a kid and just coming into the game, it used to be like a comment from the older boys to say, like, it goes like a flash, and you think, I've got 20 years left yet. So, and you don't even acknowledge the comment. But obviously now it's just gone so quickly. 10 years has flown by, absolutely flown by.
And what do you remember about that day then? It was obviously a sold out Wembley. You were playing Arsenal and you went in as huge underdogs, didn't you? What do you remember about the occasion?
Yeah, I thought it was a bit harsh. We were underdogs, to be honest, because we had 2 years in the Prem. The first year, we finished 8th. And St Andrews is a fortress. All the top 6 come there. We either beat them or drew. Didn't concede many goals. And we were doing okay that season in the league. So yeah, a bit harsh. Look, Arsenal are Arsenal, and you've got to expect it. But I preferred it if that was their mentality, that they were going to come and play us off the park. Then they would have known that we were a tough outfit to break down and tough to beat. But yeah, I'm pleased we probably ruined a few coupons that day.
I was going to say, what was it like as players in the build up to the game? Because as you just mentioned there, you were underdogs, but you felt it was harsh, but you probably preferred it that way. And people often do prefer being the underdog. So what was the build up like? How did you as players and how did the manager approach a game against opposition such as Arsenal?
Yeah, I mean, we knew what we were about. So yeah, you're probably right. It's nice being the underdog. If they're going to sort of undervalue what we were, then more for them, because we knew what we were about as a team and a squad and management, and it was working. We stayed up in the first season of the Premier League, finished really well in the top half, and as I said a minute ago, it was kind of going okay steadily in the league. So going into that game, we just thought, look, yes, it's another game. Yes, it's a huge game, and I'd lost in a final before, so I definitely didn't want that to happen again. But just going into it, it was kind of just what we do, the same sort of mentality. Look, we play to what we know, like play to our shape, stick to what the manager's said, what we've done throughout the week, and go with the game plan. And thankfully, come the end of it, it worked. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to put a finger on it. Yes, you not nervousness. It was probably more anxious. Certainly from my perspective, I just wanted it now. I did the whole waiting. I just wanted to be out there. So yeah, I was probably more like anxious than anything, just to get out there and get the job done.
And you mentioned that you'd been in a final before. You were probably one of the more experienced players in the dressing room, having already been in a final. You knew what the occasion was about. Did you feel like you had a role to play on the day in that sense?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, we had a really good dressing room, great squad, great set of lads, but we had the respect of, look, you've got Kari in there, Stephen Carr, Lee Bowyer, Fozzie, because he'd been at United and played in them games, and we had some good voices in there. Fergie, there was respect within the change room. So yeah, I'm very, very vocal anyway. But yes, I knew that feeling, and it was heartbreaking. It took me years to get over that FA Cup final loss. So going into that game, to put myself through that again, I just wanted to make sure everyone was on board and look, we got a right chance here. Stick to what we know, stick to the game plan, work the thingies off for each other, and we'll be there at the end. So yeah, as I said, I'm a huge talker anyway, and just to give information and try and get the lads to believe was something I tried to put across.
And the semi-finals were ties to remember as well, weren't they? I think you turned defeat around in the first leg against West Ham, and you went on to win the second leg. You must have gone into the final full of confidence on the back of a result like that.
Massively. I mean, even the quarters, Derby, our local Derby against Villa, beating them, coming from the depths of despair against West Ham, being sort of goals down and getting into extra time and getting the win the way we did. Yeah, I mean, it was on the writing was on the wall, really. I just thought, yeah, this, you know what, we're going to go and win this. So yeah, massive confidence going into that game. Certainly the cup built confidence within us. We fell away in the league a bit because we had so many games in the cup, but again, shouldn't have gone down. We were steady enough in the league, but that's another story. But yeah, certainly going into the final on what we'd achieved previous in the quarters and the semis. Yeah, I was quietly confident.
And when the final comes, you got an assist in the game as well, didn't you? Your header set up Nikola Zigic for the first goal. Which put Birmingham ahead. Sorry, how good a feeling was that when you saw the goal go in?
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it's nice to be involved in a goal. I don't care if I was involved or if I scored it, as long as we scored and we won the game. Never been a big thing for me scoring, although I've got a few, 50 in my career. So, but yes, to be involved in a goal that's put us one up, just put it into an area and the big man was there, so to nod it in. So yeah, it was a nice feeling to be part of one of the goals.
And then obviously after that, Arsenal equalised. I think it was about 10 minutes or so after you went ahead. If you can remember, just talk us through the game once the scores were level. Did you still have that belief within you that you thought you could go on and win the game?
Yeah, I mean, the goal was kind of a bit against run of play. It was from our own set piece. I got caught up front, sort of ball went out wide. The gaffer actually hammered me for it at half time because I should have let it go out for a throw. But kept it in, tried to keep us in there, and played it to someone to put the ball back in the box. And they kind of broke from it. Look, we had enough bodies back there to deal with it. But yes, they equalised. But we've been playing against these sides for sort of 18 months anyway. So we've been in these situations. Yes, it's on a massive scale with a full house at Wembley. But no, it didn't knock us at all, really. I think we probably give us a lift that we conceded. And I've had this conversation so many times with people. I think the amount of chances we had within the game, we definitely held our own. And if you're going on chances, probably deserve to win it. So no, never dropped our heads that they'd scored. Look, they're Arsenal, great players. If we'd have kept a clean sheet, wow, that'd have been unreal. That'd have been better than winning it. But yeah, look, we just didn't get our heads down, but they scored a decent goal on the break, and yeah, the rest is history as we go on further in this chat.
I was going to say, then comes this incredible moment on 89 minutes. I think Obafemi Martins had only been on the pitch for 5 minutes or so. What do you remember about that moment, seeing the ball hit the back of the net, knowing there's only a couple of minutes of the game left to play?
Well, yeah, I mean, if I remember rightly, I didn't actually go up because I pulled my calf literally on like 70 minutes and was struggling myself. So I thought, well, I'm not going to go up. If they break, I ain't going to be able to get back. So yeah, massive free kick from Fozzie, and then just what the pair of them were doing. I love Szczesny and Koscielny forever. I mean, what they were doing, I don't know, but it was great. And look, he's there to tap in easiest goal of his career to win such a big game for us, the club, the fans. Just sheer elation. I couldn't actually believe what I was seeing. It was kind of like a second take that the pair of them had messed it up that badly. And right time, right place for Oba, wasn't it?
You just mentioned Ben Foster there as well. I know he won man of the match that day, but he put in a great performance, didn't he, that day? And he was an important player in the squad at the time.
Oh, massively. Yeah, Fozzie, look, he's a great goalie. If we didn't block it, we were quite a blocking, get out players that wanted to defend. But if it managed to get past one of us, he was always there. He's a good guy, great goalie. And yes, that day, not going to say kept us in the game, but pulled off big saves when we needed him to. So that side of it was vital. Everybody did their job that day. from Fozzie up to Ziggy. The subs that came on, just everybody as a whole, just a whole process of it. It just fell into place in it, and it worked.
And let's just talk about that season a little bit. So you've mentioned it a couple of times, but you won the League Cup, but then obviously relegation from the Premier League followed after such an incredible day at Wembley. Would you say it was a season of mixed emotions for you as players?
We needed 1 point from 6 games, like literally 1 point from 6 games, and we lost all 6. To put your finger on it, you can blame this, blame that, blame everything, but it was down to us at the end of the day. Did we have too many games? No, I'm not a big believer in that. I just think crunch time, we didn't get the job done. I mean, it's the first time, and I think, or second time in the history, no one's ever gone down with that amount of points. So yeah, it was a bit harsh. Felt a bit hard done by. But what if we'd have stayed up that season and won the cup? What a season that would have been. And it would have kept the team together, because unfortunately that was the demise of the football club then, with the relegation. It was, I think I was one of 12 players that left out of that squad, that cup winning squad, the following season, which was a shame, because I think if we'd have just managed to stay up, then it would have been a different Birmingham. We'd have signed more players. Obviously, players would have left. New players would have come in, and they were just something to build on them. That they call it the second season syndrome in the Premier League. It's quite a common thing. You do well first season, like Sheffield United now. That second season, I don't know what it is, but it's not like we've gone down with 30 points. We've gone down with sort of 39 points. It's unheard of. So yeah, it was a tough pill to swallow, to be honest. After, like you said, such happiness in the final win, and it was just so disappointing. We had the games to do it, and we just didn't get over the line, unfortunately.
Well, it might have ended in disappointment, but it's not every day that you get to win a trophy, is it? As footballers, that's all that you want, and you've got a League Cup winners' medal, and no one can take that away from you. It's special, isn't it?
Very special, yeah, hugely special. It's a massive fight, probably the best in my career. Going and winning. There's players that play 20 years in football in the Premier League, and they've not got anything to show for it, bar obviously their appearance record. So yeah, really nice to play at the top and win a massive tournament like the League Cup. It is important. They all are. Yeah, I'm proud of it. Very, very proud of it. Certainly the way we went about it and the sides we beat, it wasn't a gift. We played Villa, West Ham and Arsenal in the final. So we certainly earned it, put it that way.
I was going to say, you played for a lot of clubs, you had a great career, but where would you say that moment for Birmingham ranks in your career? I mean, I assume it's right up there.
Yeah, I mean, look, personally, making the whole end goal is to get to the Premier League, and that was my personal goal when I set out. And so that debut in the Premier League for Birmingham away at Man U, so it couldn't be any better. What a debut that is. That's one of my major highlights. Staying in the Premier League the first season and finishing 8th, that was a huge achievement. Getting in the England squad again, huge achievement. So when that landed through the secretary, and I thought it was a joke at this when she first said it, but that was a nice accolade for me personally. But I think you're right. I mean, it has to be the cup. Like it's the way it just panned out, and going a goal up 1-1, and just to win in the way we did, with sort of 4 minutes left. It doesn't, sort of fairy tales are about it. You couldn't go any better to get a tap in like that in the 89th minute. Just perfect.